a bunch of Saints restructured their contracts. Is there anything notable from the group here, or just kind of business as usual? Anything you like, didn't like? I think for me is the things that haven't happened yet, but I'll let you kick it off.
Notable for sure. I mean, the pay cut with Tyrann Mathieu actually kind of surprised me a little bit because he just took a pay cut last year and had 3.5 million guaranteed. So like there was barely any room left for him to take more of a pay cut. So I mean, they're really challenging him. And then they signed Justin Reed hours later. So I mean, I guess that helps their cap a little, but I think more than anything, it signifies that they're sort of challenging Tyrann Mathieu, and that made me look at it sideways. They're going to be doing the same thing with Cam Jordan. They're going to be saying, "Yeah, you just took a pay cut 2 years ago, but if you want to stay on this team, you have to take another one." I, that's kind of one of the risks of the way the Saints manage their cap is they ask players to take pay cuts a lot. And I think sometimes it makes sense. We wanted to see them do that with Derek Carr, but I don't think it ever goes down well for the player who's being asked to take the pay cut. So that puts them in a weird place with some of their veterans this offseason, I think. And then same thing, we're going to see the numbers on Nathan Shepard and Colin Saunders.
Let me interject real quick. Like I like just before we get into the other guys talking about these guys, keeping it here for a second.
Yeah.
I don't think Tyrann's ever bothered about taking less. I think that he's willing to do whatever he can to play here. And I don't think that, like, I know that, like, I know for sure, like the money aspect is not a thing for him. Like I think he prides himself on being a team first player. I think he's always cognizant of where he's at in his career, in the position he plays, and where he stands within the market. And I think more than anything, he just wants to play here. Like he just wants to play here. Like he could very easily could have been, all right, this is cool. Like I took a pay cut last year. You're asking again. Like I only had a couple of years left. I'm gonna go try to play for the Chiefs again, or I'm gonna go try to hook on with the Eagles, or the Bills, or Houston, or whoever, and try to get. I'm gonna go chase a ring and go walk into the Hall of Fame and do that. But like I don't think that's where he's at. I don't think the money thing's an issue for him. So I think with some people though, for sure, not to undermine your, I just think in that specific case, like I don't think it's a thing for him, but for sure, it is risky business walking up to people and asking them to take a pay cut. Like, and it is a strategy, and people get pissed at like they are extremely shrewd and just emotionless in that aspect of like,
Got to be emotionless. Yeah.
yeah, look, we're gonna ask you to take less money and let the chips fall where they may. And it's kind of up to the player to decide how they handle it. And not everyone's gonna handle it well. You're right. Not everyone is gonna handle it well. It could cause, resentment and bruised egos and all that stuff. But I just wanted to be clear in the case of Tyrann. Like I have talked to him before about the pay cut stuff, and like it is something that I don't think bothers him in the least. Like last year, the whole thing where it was like, hey, look, I don't play a premium position, and I want to make sure that like I'm in a place where my contract's like comfortable for them and for me. And look, I just want to be here. Like I knew what the deal was when I came here, and I don't think I would be surprised if the pay cut is an issue for him this year.
Well, yeah, and I think everything you just said is also true of Cam Jordan, and I think we're going to see that. I mean, I think Cam Jordan is kind of I think it's kind of BS that they're asking me for my second pay cut in 3 years, but they know I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. This is where I want to finish my career. I think both of those guys have been that way, and that's part of great leadership. And in no way was my point taking anything away from their willingness to do it. Is part of what makes both of those guys special. But I mean,
not everybody's those two. Not everybody's those two. Yeah,
it's a jerk move for a team to ask their best players to do it at the same time. So, like that is one of the tough things. I feel like if the Saints were $100 million over the cap, they wouldn't bother trying to save, $2 million on Tyrann's contract and $5 million on Cam's contract. I don't think a lot of teams always do that unless you're, counting every dollar. And so I do think that is one of the kind of hidden negatives with the Saints and the way they manage their cap is they end up asking, valued players to give money back. But at the same time, you're right. There are also guys who understand the reality of the situation. What would I make on the open market? What's my current value? What helps my team? Is this going to allow me to line up next to Justin Reed? And is this going to allow me to line up next to Chase Young? They see value in that too. So it does usually work out, but it's one of the cold parts of this business. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
Yeah, the other guys I was going to mention was Colin Saunders and Nathan Shepard. I was going to be even colder to them. I thought for sure one of them was getting cut after they traded for Devon Godshaw. I thought they might both get cut anyway. And then the first thing they do is go and trade for a new nose tackle. I thought, all right, well, who's the odd man out going to be? So I was actually a little surprised that they extended Shepard and restructured Saunders. We're going to see what those deals look like. I don't know if pay cuts were involved in either of those cases. But all of a sudden it's Godshaw and it's Brzee and it's John Ridgway is still here and it's Nathan Shepard and it's Colin Saunders. And it's a 3-4 base front where guys like Cam Jordan might be one of these interior guys playing defensive end in a 3-man front. Like, there's a lot of bodies here. I'm actually a little surprised how many defensive tackles they have on the team right now.
Yeah, I don't think Saunders was a any type of pay cut. I haven't seen, or I'm sorry, yeah, Saunders. I haven't seen Shepard's contract yet, so I don't know what his looked like. His was more of like it was Josina Anderson was the one who broke that. Like it was reported as like a extension, like a 1 year
1 year
redo.
extension. And that's what they did with Matthew and uh, Davis last year, and that was adding a year while lowering the salary a little bit. That's my prediction with Shepard, but I don't know for sure.
The yeah, I haven't seen his yet, but yeah, Saunders was just a straight conversion of 25 money. So that was a just a standard, and then I think they added on void years or whatever just to prorate it out. But it took his cap hit down to, hold on, I'm looking at the contract right now. But yeah, no, they didn't do anything new money there or change or pay cut or anything. Ruiz was just a straight up conversion, McCoy and Granderson. So all of those were like that. And yeah, I don't know. There was a weird little like Twitter rumor that they were like trying to trade Carl Granderson. That wasn't true at all. Like, and they were like, oh, they didn't do the conversion. They signed Chase Young. He signed the contract last week. Like, it just hadn't gotten reported. Like, sometimes people just don't tell anyone anything when something happens. Like, it plays out like that. But yeah, they were never, ever, ever, ever trying to trade Carl Granderson. It would have cost them $10 million to do it. Like, what are you going to get? You're going to pay $10 million for like a 5th-round pick? Like, I don't know what his market would be, a 4th or a 5th, probably. There's just, and now it would be 20. And he was a stand-up outside linebacker at times in college. He's just gained a lot of weight since he came into the league.
He's gained a ton of weight since he's gained all that. I wonder if he gets to take it all back off now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's yeah, good question. I wonder. Yeah, some body types could change. They've been trying to make guys gain weight forever. It makes you wonder if like Davenport. I'm not gonna get into hypothetical Davenport stuff. Like we did that for way too long.